It's like going back to a town you grew up in. And so when I paddle up and down the creek, I see things that I remember when I was young, and because they really haven't changed that much, and that's a blessing. So much changes in your life. So many things change. But Bear Creek and those woods around it, they're still the same to me. They're better even, but they're still the same. What a great day.
He said, "Mama, it just takes a lot of money to rent. Why not we buy a canoe?"
I finally, after lots of begging, got a canoe when I was probably about 14. And I remember pulling off the road about 3 times on the way to Raleigh thinking, I can't have my mom spending $700. What if I don't stick with it?
And it was a huge canoe, very large and very heavy, and we named it the Lead Elephant.
First time I paddled on that section of Bear Creek, I drug my canoe through the junk cars. Nobody else paddled.
And that was William's canoe that started him on this adventure.
And so I kind of self-taught, and it took me years to learn things that my daughter learned in minutes. So all these people that have learned to paddle, that have gone out on Bear Creek or gone out on the trail.
Paddle over, remember, have that button pointing away from you. There you go, brother.
I think it has changed lives. And it doesn't have to be a big thing to change your life, to make you feel better about yourself and make you feel better about your community. So if we've made a difference, and I truly live by, if you change one person's life, your life's been a life well lived.
I think my kayaking days are over after this event. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe William will have inspired me.
Oh, that's what they all say, William.
No, we've already cut it back. Thanks, though, Jessica. It's like, remember me telling you about the big 30-pound tumors? Those aren't the ones that really make you nervous. It's these little ones. They're always supposed to go home.
People say, oh gosh, if people were more like dogs. But you know what? People are way better. I mean, they really are. I mean, you see people do things that's not instinctual. It goes against their own survival. And animals tend to do things, and they do great things, but you see people put their own self at great peril for other people's and sacrifice themselves for other people.
Dalton passed away a little over a month ago, and Dalton bought the land there. It was already, the junk cars were gone, but he cleaned up along the creek. He pretty much made it a public access.
Well, there was no Bear Creek when we were in college. I mean, it was there, obviously, but it was not paddleable. He's done all that since we've been married, since we've been here. Yeah, we've sort of cleaned that up together. There were trees down, you couldn't get in put in at 705. There were no docks anywhere. And so we really sort of, after we moved from Ellerby to here, we needed a place to train. And so we started cleaning that up, and it sort of all went from there. I don't know who's been in here. You and River probably. Were the last ones in here? That might be poison ivy. Make sure mine's right. Might be the problem. I'm asleep forward.
Just actually, we were doing a lot of events, we were canoeing, we were doing adventure races, and we just all of a sudden 10 years had slipped by, and we always planned on having a family, and we knew it was time. And so we started calling her River, kind of almost as a joke, kidding around with my parents. And Lynn said, we can't call her anything but that because it's all we've called her. And it was the perfect name for her. That River's a constant, but it's always a little different, and so it suits her.
I always go to the creek. I go and check the creek. And my daughter says, it ain't going nowhere, Daddy. But I always ride down to check the creek. And I said, you know, the day your daddy dies, when you leave the funeral, you're gonna go check the creek.
I've never come off the creek in a bad mood. I mean, it's always, no matter how bad you feel. And I may have told you, you know, me and Lionel have been married 24 years this October. And we've been paddling together for all of them. And there's been days when we go out there to paddle. Maybe I've done something that just wasn't right and we're not talking, but after an hour or so in the boat, you start talking. So, yeah. Tandem paddling can be ruinous to a marriage, or it can be great for a marriage. It's been really great for ours. So I highly recommend it. But Bear Creek and those woods around it, they're still the same to me. They're better even, but they're still the same. And I can remember paddling up and down Bear Creek and walking in those woods with my parents and my grandparents and all the things we got to do, and my dad slipping and falling when we were fishing one time at the pond. And, you know, all those things, those memories of childhood. Now, my wife says I spend too much time living in the past, but I don't live in the past. It's that holding on to those memories and knowing that it's important for me to make those same memories, not just for my daughter, my child, but for all the children. And that's an opportunity that we all have, and our nonprofit can do that we give children the ability to make memories. And when they come down and do the biathlon and they have to eat the honey bun, or they have to diaper the baby doll, or the little kids get to eat the white powdered donuts and they all run around with their white powdered lips across the creek, they're making memories that they'll remember someday. And I hope that they will be able to come back when they're 50 years old and drive down to the Highway 705, which will be the Dalton Cheek access. And they will drive down there and they will tell their children, you know, when I was your age, I ran across that creek after eating powdered donuts. And, you know, and that race is coming up.
Let's go! Push it in there! Let's go!
Because I hope it's all still going on. Whether I'm putting it on or it gets passed on, I hope all these events are still taking place. And Bear Creek will be there forever, for generation after generation to enjoy.
Alrighty, so Neil's going to be 109. You know what, I better put a clamp on these winds picking up. It might blow our numbers away.
What does it say anyway?
It's your number, 109.
109, okay. I do have severe arthritis. And January 12th, I had a knee replacement.
If you drown out there, they've got an emergency contact number to call me.
That's right. We'll have a boat out there.
So
too.
don't drown.
The important thing at the biathlon is taking part. You don't have to win it, and you don't have to be in great shape to have fun. I think he's going to do okay.
About there, going for the far bucket. All right, Neil. Way back. Almost. You're there. There it is. Come on.
I knew this would be the hardest part of the whole thing.
But you're getting the rest. You're in. All right. Cross the creek, Neil.
Good job, Bionic Man.
Right here.
Sprinting across the finish line. Congratulations. Great job. Proud of you, brother.
Good job.
You've done something I've never done.
And that's the kind of guy he is. He's willing to take a chance and do something that he's never done before.
That's ninth place for first in the 70 and up with a time of 1 hour and 49 seconds. An impressive first time effort at the biathlon. Neil Johnson. All right, Neil, you gotta come on. You gotta walk just a little far. Man that went up that hill and just saved the way you can walk on level ground.
I'll treasure this for the rest of my life.
It is about quality of life. You know, we're not going to make Robbins the place to live because of paddling on Bear Creek. It's not going to save the town, but it's going to make the town better. a kid that just turned 16, I said, you know, all this will be yours one day. And so I'm hoping that I'm raising up that next generation, and I already see it. I already hear it, you know, kids around, they do the races.
Look at that, I got all 2 different socks.
It is not a one-person show by any stretch of the mind. My family, friends, the help, the hours. And, you know, sometimes maybe I'm the face of Bear Creek, but I'm a small part of it, really. It's just I get all the fun stuff. There are so many people that work so hard and believe in it every bit as much as I do.